Hey everybody, this is Eric.
This is Jason.
We are D&D Miniature and Board Games. Jason, what are we going to review?
Horrified?
Horrified.
Dun, dun,
So, Horrified. I recently picked this up
I totally understood that.
at Bargain Hunt for $15.
Good price.
It was. Now, we've played this. I've played this several times. And Jason's played this, Tim's played this, Glenda's played this. We actually got the scores. We had Tim send us his scores because he couldn't be here tonight. And we wanted to have a third set of scores on this. So, if you aren't familiar with our scoring method, we score on a 1 to 5, with 3 being average, nothing good, nothing bad, it's just average. 5 being outstanding, and 1 being a piling steam of cow dung.
What about a Triceratops poop?
Sure, Triceratops poop. It
Works.
just seems like it'd be a tongue twister that I don't want to deal with every time. So, we score on graphics, artwork,
Opponents.
rulebook, replayability, and overall
Fun.
fun. That's right, because that's what you're really after, is the fun of the game. So, graphics and artwork. So Tim gave graphics and artwork a 4.
Tim, why did...
He's not here to explain. I as well gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4.
I just, I didn't think it was over the top, but I did like that the cards had the black and white graphics to them. The board has a good amount of graphics, and most of though we had standees,
We'll get to that.
the graphics on the stands were all different. It's not over the top. It was a 4. It barely pulled 4 with me, actually.
I probably would have went higher. Like, for instance, I'll pick this up so they can see.
You mean if you can pick it up?
So, I mean, anything that I remember the Creature from the Black Lagoon from, of course, you know, it's a little before my time, was black and white.
I believe they colorized it, sir.
Oh, I know. But I'm just saying, like, if they would have kept it black and white, it would have kept with the theme a little bit more. But it's still cool artwork, so.
So, 4.
Yep.
All right. Rulebook. Tim gave it a 4. I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4.
What can we say? The rulebook is actually pretty good. It doesn't have an index, which would have helped it quite a bit.
Yep.
But it's easy to follow, easy to understand most of the rules. And the first time that we played it, we got a few things wrong. But then by the time we played it the second time, we had almost all of it right. Third time, we were pretty dead on. It doesn't take long to learn the rules for this game. And the rulebook is actually pretty good. On top of the fact that most of your monster cards, like the Wolfman here, on the back it actually gives you a setup for every single creature, which is actually a nice touch. And you do have quick start cards, and 1 for each player, which are they explain quite a bit. They work really well.
I like it.
And that's why you gave it a 4.
All right. Yeah, I mean, his rule books, Ravensburger, I guess is how you pronounce it.
Ravensburger.
Probably destroyed the name, but, I mean, his rule books in general are pretty straightforward. They're pretty easy going, so. Did the job.
Components. Tim gave components a 3.
I gave it a 3. What?
I was looking for Tim.
Oh, yeah.
He's not here. And I gave components a 3. Listen, there were several things that, to be honest with you, if the miniatures for the monsters were as nice as they were, I would have given components a 2 on this. The fact that you sprung for the, 7 miniatures for the monsters, and I understand this is to keep your price point down, and we appreciate that, but it's kind of a half and half. You got your heroes are standees. Your monsters, they're miniatures, and then the villagers, they're standees. The other thing I didn't like is that you're going to use this a lot. I mean, you're probably going to use these more than you use the characters. You should have made these cardboard as well. These are not going to stand up a lot to wear and tear.
No, you're gonna have to laminate.
Yeah. So that's why it got a 3 for me.
I mean, I gave it a 3. The miniatures are decent. I would at least like to see the heroes, or whatever you want to call them, miniatures as well. I would have been able to live with.
Sandy's for the villagers.
Yeah, I was gonna call them survivors, but they're villagers. I could have lived with them being standees.
As much as you like Lucy.
Yeah, a miniature for her would have been cool. But I'm a miniature fan, and to have the monsters, miniatures, and everything else standees is kind of disappointing. So that's why I gave it a 3. I mean, everything else. This is decent cardboard. I mean, these are kind of
Flimsy.
For
as much as you use them.
Right, I would have to actually laminate them. And the cards, I mean, they're good cards. The artwork on the cards are good, but the main reason I gave it a 3 was because of the standees.
Replayability. Tim gave replayability a 5. I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 3.
Wow. I found though that there were 6 different types of there were 7 monsters, but you got 6 cards because the Bride and Frankenstein work in tandem. It's got plenty of replayability, but I think overall that once you start playing the same creatures and you only got how many were there? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Well, there's
8 heroes.
right.
I think after a while you'd be playing the same hero against the same monsters, and it would just drag down a little bit.
That's why I gave it a 3.
Now, I see the ability for expansion with this. Because you could always go into a 80s expansion where you get Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers.
The critters.
Yeah, Gremlins. So I see the ability with expansions for this, and I think that would jump up the replayability.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it a 3 just 'cause, I was just focusing on the monsters because there are 7, but like you said, Frankenstein and the Bride come together because they're a team. So I mean, there's not much there before you kind of attacking the same thing over. So that's why I gave it a 3.
Overall fun. Tim gave a 5. I gave a 5.
I gave it 4. I was a little harsh on this one.
You were. So, I can vouch for Tim. He had a really good time playing this. He enjoyed it. Actually, he wants to play this more. He got to play 3 games of it. Played several of the different monsters. I think that unfortunately, the draws we've never seemed to have gotten the Mummy or the Frankenstein and Bride combination. Because you randomly pick your monsters, you just throw out the cards and you grab 2, and those are the monsters you run with. My overall fun, though, was that it is so cooperative. And, if you get to the Mummy, it's kind of like a puzzle piece trying to get the Mummy knocked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's so cooperative, and I like cooperative games, sometimes we play games that aren't so cooperative, and I don't think everybody has as good of a time, but when we play a cooperative game, everybody gets that cohesion going, especially with a game like this, and it's just good fun. So I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 4. I had fun. It did its job. I've only played it once, so I'm sure if I played it a couple more times, that might go up because it is. I do like the whole thing. That is pretty cool. But yeah, it's better than a 3.
Oh yeah, well 3 would have been average, and
it's above average for me.
Yeah,
I do like the thing. And honestly, I will probably end up getting my own copy of this. To be truthful, so.
Well, you're the man.
I like
Will you
it.
get it for $15?
No.
So, overall score, Horrified, 3.9. Damn near 4.
Very close.
A little bit above average for a game. You find it, they sell it most places. Target has it. pretty decent price.
I'm pretty sure Target has it.
If you have a local bargain hunt, check them out, because bargain hunt, if you don't know, gets a lot of stuff from Target, which is how I've ended up getting a few of my games cheaper. Is I go on bargain hunt and they'll have 1 or 2 copies that maybe the seal's broken. You just go through there, do a real quick check of the what's in there, and they don't mind if you do it. Actually, a lot of times I've taken it up to the counter and I've actually gone through and verified everything was there.
Yeah.
So, 3.9. As always, support your local gaming. We support Discover Games, Fayetteville, Georgia, and
Dragon Eye Games, Game in Georgia.
game on, everybody.
Game on.